Alright, in this video we're going to talk about the Section 9 gradebook assignment. So if we go to Assignments and go here to Section 9 Weighted Grade, the idea here is we have this student, Smitty, who just finished up a semester, and they have the following different scores here. So this is her average. Homework scores of 70. Her average on her quizzes was 20. She did perfect on the projects and a 70 average. All right, and then the teacher has a syllabus that makes homework 10%, quizzes 30, projects 10, and exams 50. So our goal is to create a spreadsheet that can calculate this final grade. All right, so similarly to the one that we did in class, we're going to open up an Excel sheet. And if you want to use the one from class as a kind of a base to start with, you can do that. So here's my spreadsheet, and what I want to do is create my table. So I'm going to have category average. Remember that you can double click between cells to expand it. Then I need to put the weight, and then weight and times category average. Right, so our categories are homework, quizzes, projects, and exams. And we can put in our average, which was 70, 20, 770, 70, 20, 170. Alright, once I have that, one thing I can do too is if I want to center all my numbers, I can highlight them and just go to center right here. Alright, homework was 10%. Now I could type that in as 0.1 as a decimal as well, but in Excel, if you just put the percent sign, that works as a percent. Quizzes were 30%. Projects were something, 10. And exams are 50%. Alright, and so the goal here is I need to figure out how these are going to play into my final grade. So I'm going to do my weight times the average. So this says that 7% of our grade came from homework. Homework had a maximum of 10%, so the highest this can be is 10. But because we only got 70%, not 100%, 10% of 70 is 7%. So this is how much you have 7% right now. So figure out what these other four are. Then down here, you're going to want to add them all up using that equals sum command. Alright, so this is where your final grade is going to be. You can label that if you want to label this cell final grade. Alright, so you want to finish up finding these averages and find the sum there. Another thing I want you to do with this is I want you to format it. So what I can do is highlight the entire table, right click, go to Format Cells here at the bottom, and go to the tab that says Border. Click on that. And then a nice easy way to do a border is click on the thick line for an outline, and the thin line, and click on Inside. And this is a preview of what that's going to look like. And so hit OK, and there's a nice little border. Notice how these parts aren't being used, so if you want to highlight that, just the two unused cells, right click, go to Format Cells, hit None, and if I do that, this will all be blank. So click on the thick line, kind of put it here and here, that will show up here and here. Now I've kind of trimmed it up a little bit. Okay. I can go into a little more detail. I can highlight the top row, Format Cell, put like a double line at the bottom. Kind of makes it look a little classier, and maybe do something between this part here, so I'll highlight the bottom too. Format Cells, maybe put like a dash line up here or something. Okay, just kind of make it look a little interesting. Also highlight this top row and give it a little bit of color in the table. Maybe highlight it and center it. Okay, so we can format things to make them look a little bit nicer. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing for this part here. We're creating that. We're going to be able to calculate the grade. In part 2, this is where you're going to be kind of doing some investigation now. Okay, so you're going to get a grade. Smitty's not going to be happy with it. If the weighting had been different, she could have done better. So you're going to go back here and say, okay, what if these weights were different? You know, maybe projects were worth more than 10%, exams maybe less than 50. You know, how can you adjust these to make this final grade better? And so you should be able to. What I would do here is highlight this once you have it done, and just do a copy, paste, and then this is one that you're going to kind of adjust. So you can do like adjusted sheet. You could also, whoops, too many E's. Nope, now the whole thing's gone. My goodness. Adjusted sheet. You could also add a sheet here and put it on sheet 2, so they don't have to be on the same page. You can do separate pages. It's kind of up to you how you want to organize that. But now that I have this new sheet, I can go through and change my weights around. You know, this wouldn't work because this adds up to 115, but that would work. Okay, so kind of adjust these. As you adjust these, this cell should automatically change. If all the formulas are set up right, you know, here I actually put C2 times B2. I didn't actually do it in Do 7. One piece of advice is never touch your calculator. If you touch the calculator, you're not using an Excel formula. Okay, once you figure out how to improve her grade, go ahead and insert a text box as well. A text box. And just write a short paragraph about what you changed. Okay, once you have all that done, save it and submit it as an attachment.